go last?
Wow.
I reckon our newest visitors should decide, because you already know what sort of games we like. So, Cass, Scribe, A grade, decide what sort of drinking game we're playing.
Last man standing.
Last master. Nah, that's easy. Let's make it interesting.
Have you ever drank with a fucking troll?
I'm looking forward to watching. I reckon we've got to bring some skill into the game somewhere. So,
Okay, last man standing who can balance a football on his nose.
no. It's simple. If you can do that sort of shit, right? So, it's got to be your shot on the head, and it has to stay on your head for 10 seconds.
That's easy.
Is it?
It's this first round, second round, third round, but when you get to round 7 or 8, it might be more of a challenge.
Magma's already lubricated.
I'm going to let you guys decide the rules. Me and my friend Casper, we're just going to take over the DJ box, and we're going to stick.
Bullshit. Casper?
Yes.
Oh, I'm drinking, definitely.
Look, Casper, I've brought my copy of The Lion and the Cobra. We've got to play it.
Oh yeah, whack it on, absolutely. If you don't mind, he'll take it off you and he'll stick it into the deck and push the volumes up a little bit more.
Yeah. It's a charade.
And you can, start your drinking game. For every shot glass you take, Mono will take a mug.
So we're playing high top then.
Race. Yeah.
Race, yeah, fucking hell.
And then each one that you finish has to be balanced cumulatively. You can't put any down.
Cumulatively.
Well, there's only so many classes.
Yeah. So, like the unicorn game. Yes.
I love it. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Unfortunately, that doesn't work because as you drink, it will fall off. So you can't do it that way.
Now, straw. Slurp.
No. You can take these off and hold them. When you drink, you then got to put the rest on. And then when it's your turn to drink again, you can
The
take
unicorn
them off,
game.
drink,
Love it.
Make a stack.
and see how high
The unicorn game.
falls. The unicorn game.
I want to make a debate as to whether using horns, if you have them, to hold the glasses, is allowed or not. I'm of the opinion of if you've got him, flaunt him.
In the stage whisper, Mono will say to you, "Don't ruin my advantage."
Make Mono drink from glasses
Stage
too small
whisper.
to fit on his horns. Did I say that?
Did I say that out loud?
I know what sort of neighbour you're going to become, and he just pushes you with his finger, he nearly knocks you back.
I'm going to stand there swaying and say, I meant to do that.
Right, so you could engage in a drinking game, whereby you can all do your very, very best.
Senpai!
So yes, Cass has put a Sinead O'Connor album on, which is a almost skull-crushing volume now because of Casper. As soon as he said it, come on, he was just like, that needs to go even higher. And you can spend the night partying. I'm sorry to do this to you. I'm not even going to say A grade, I'm going to say James. But Redmond is a small place and everybody knows everybody. Or if they don't, they will do soon.
And you didn't fucking pay attention earlier sessions because I said I'm going to phone my Uncle Mono.
Yeah.
In session 1 or 2, she did say Uncle Mono in one of the sessions.
I went to sleep in between that one and one of my downstairs neighbour.
Yes.
But I'm actually happy because she's met other people that will help in the pinch.
Stamina rolls.
You want to make this a competition?
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
I think the competition
Ooh, I like that.
Are we talking endurance or resistance?
Just roll a zero-sided
It's
dice and
resistance.
lose.
It's resistance,
Yeah.
okay. So I got 2 on my standard and I've got 3 resistance.
Endurance is the ability to run a marathon, roll your dice, and then run another marathon. Resistance is against poisons and things like that. So it's a resistance roll. Ooh.
4.
5.
For anti-alcohol. Yes.
1, 2. I've got stamina 5 and 3 resistance. So.
Oh, resistance, yes. So Mono rolls 8 dice with 2 autos. 1,
Pardon me.
2, 3,
Mono will G13 or win.
5. Mono gets 7 on his first resistance roll.
Look, the competition is between us.
Yeah.
Mono is an automatic.
Yeah, he's just in his own game with himself. So yes, by the end of the drinking game, I think most of you are going to be pretty leathered if you let it get as far as you want it to get. Casper makes a pretty good show of it, and the orc that you will eventually be introduced to as G13. So the orc that let you in, he'll introduce himself as G13.
And Demo is the other guy.
Demo is the guy that Starling is sat on the knee of.
Oh, and Raz.
And
Demo
Rez is
and
there
Raz.
as well. Yeah. So G13 is the big orc that is. You'll work out as the party goes along. G13 is pretty much Mono's protege. He's only young, and Mono is sort of taken under his wing and trying to show
He
him.
blushes when any of the girls talk to him.
Yes, he'll blush when Kira talks to him. He's quite shy around young ladies, but he seems like a good lad, and he's clearly as new to the business as you guys almost are. But yes, as the evening goes on, especially as it gets later and later, and a few people leave the party, at some point Mono will realise that the only people left in the party who are people who have the same professional leanings as him.
Kira and Starling will probably pass out in the corner.
Yeah.
And then be put to bed, so to speak.
And so, yeah, Casper, Mono, and G13 will start sharing stories of jobs they've been on, and the time when G13 almost opened the door, closed the door, then threw the grenade.
You're mistaken.
G13 goes bright red. Oh, shut up, guys. No, shut up.
I'm going.
And so you can have as much of a night as you want, or as little. But as I say, as the evening goes on, eventually the only people left in the party are Shadowrunners. And so Mono's interested to hear about the jobs you've done, any funny stories. You don't have to give all the details. Mono respects that, and similarly, they will tell jobs and they will leave important details out, such as who it was for and where they were. But they'll definitely tell the funny stories.
Yeah.
And you can swap stories with the Shadowrunners that actually live in Redmond.
Yep.
And get to know them a little bit.
No problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do in the party, but
it's having fun and making contacts and knowing that if you needed to, you could call on these guys. Make sure they're paid, but you can call on them.
Yep.
Yes.
Mono in the party, I'm definitely going to go. Oh, fucking hell! Anybody know of a fucking another apartment down in this block?
By the end of the night, I'm going to have a load of new contacts on my phone.
Yes, yeah, it's a chance to get some more phone numbers. Definitely. So yeah, Mono has definitely a team of 5. Him and Rez prefer it if they are described as retired, but secretly, if the money's good, they will still do the odd job. But they like to put the word out that they're retired. Yeah.
They're more
and so
mentoring the youngsters.
Sorry?
They're more mentoring the youngsters.
Yeah, and they're mentoring the younger ones, G13 and Demo. and the younger ones in Casper. So Casper's a decker.
Yep, he is indeed.
He is. Mono is a street sign, clearly by his cyber arms and the fact that he referred to having a tox filter and his cyber eyes. 13 is a trainee samurai as well. He'll have cyber eyes. That's the big orc. Rez is a face. He seems the most eloquent of them all, and doesn't drink as heavily as everybody else. He paces himself.
Until Magpie pokes him.
Until Magpie pokes him, but it's his nature not to completely let loose. He's not boring, but at the same time, he doesn't. He backs out of the drinking games before everybody else.
Rez is Arabian ancestry.
Arabian, yeah.
Casper is Irish ancestry, and Demo is white, Caucasian, American.
Yeah.
What was Casper's speciality?
Decker.
Decker.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Demo was the Decker.
No, Demo's the
Demo's street name
Street Samurai.
gives the game away as to what his speciality is.
Big booms.
In fact, actually, after you've had quite a few drinks, Demo will suggest going onto the roof. He's got some fireworks.
Yes. Fireworks.
Fireworks, yes.
That reminds me of a time I
Get on
was with
Mono's
some
back,
friends.
turn to Ray. Don't worry, the girls will be safe.
I was with some friends who were pyrotechnic experts in working for the various TV companies, and I went to the house for a fireworks display. They decided to set off basically petrol bombs.
Yep.
There were two incidents. One was they set fire to their neighbour's tree, and I mean properly fucking it was on fire. And they also fired off a mortar from the end of the garden that was about 10 metres away. That was a 50-metre range for safety.
Yep, been to one of them.
And they fired it, and the window of the sliding doors at the back of the house, the windows both cracked because it was that fucking powerful.
I've actually got a video on my YouTube channel of a party that I went to.
Have you?
With a clan that hang out. They're called Five Punk or Spunk if you read it that way.
Yeah.
We're not a gaming clan, but we play a lot of games together and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And we used to have these things called bashies, which was we'd all meet together. I've had 3 at my house.
Nice.
But we all get together and we have a LAN party and we do tabletop and we do whatever, for a weekend. And we went to this one down near London, Prof's house, and he does firework displays, and he did the same thing. We had this massive big firework display, and it was brilliant. And then at the end of it, at the end of the garden, this pyrotechnic thing, a CDC. Do you know what one of them is?
Oh,
crudely drawn cock, right at the end of the garden in pink.
I know,
with all the sparks coming out the end. It was fucking brilliant.
I know a couple of people who do pyros for events and stuff, Boomer and Sparky, and we hired them to do one of our events, and we had they normally use what was called a maroon, and a maroon is mostly a very loud bang and a very brief flash, and it's really good for staging stuff, especially outdoors. And we had a partially ruined castle that we could set things around, and I had a guy who was going to play our big bad guy, and he was on the first floor of the castle. There was just a big hole in the wall, which used to be a big casement window, and we dressed him up and we got some underlighting on him so he looked all evil. And we said, when the players turn up, can you set off a maroon, big bang, and Steve can step forward and do the "How dare you" speech. How dare you come to my place? How dare you do this?
Oh, I remember.
And we set it all up, and Steve was stood with his back to the wall, and on a signal, he had to turn 180 degrees so he could be seen in this big casement window. And we'd asked him to set a maroon off for a big bang to introduce him. And it was all set up. We were waiting for the players to climb up the hill to come towards the castle. And I turned to Boomer and I said, "Have you got a maroon ready?" And he said, "Oh, I've done better than that. I've got a giant maroon ready." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, as long as it works." He let this thing off, and we gave Steve the cue, and he turned round, and the giant maroon went off, and it blew one of Steve's contact lenses off, and all the wall around him started crumbling because the nose was so big.
And he was 10 to 20 feet up in the air.
He was 10 to 20 feet up in the air. He couldn't see, he couldn't hear, and he had to do a 180-degree turn. He could feel that the ends of his toes were hanging over the edge of a 30-foot drop. And blind, he had no idea if there was anybody there. He did a huge "how dare you" speech to no one as far as he was concerned. It frightened the players so much they just turned and went back down the hill and didn't engage. They just went, "No, fuck that."
I remember that. He was silhouetted in red, fucking glowing lights and pyros, and it's literally like.
Do you want me to stop streaming? By the way.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah, might as well, yeah.
Right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.